So today we got two fan favorite X-Men going head to head. Nightcrawler versus Gambit. Who takes the victory? Well, let's find out. Kurt Wagner is a prominent member of the X-Men and former member and leader of Excalibur. He possessed the infinite ability of teleportation, as well as incredible agility, wall scaling, and a prehensile tail. Nightcrawler is a devout Catholic, contrasting his demonic appearance, and he's a highly skilled swordsman and a former circus acrobat. Now, Kurt's mutant power is teleportation, and the way it works is that he's opening a portal to another dimension and then traveling almost instantaneously through that dimension. Whenever he teleports, he leaves behind his signature brimstone smell and a bamf sound, which is made from the air rushing to the space where he once was. After some training sessions, Nightcrawler's developed the ability to bring other people with him when he teleports. His teleportation range is limited, but he can travel up to 2 miles, so it's not super limited. He must also know the place, where he'll risk teleporting into a solid object, which would be fatal for him, because obviously two things cannot occupy the same space at the same time. But Kurt does have spatial awareness, which means that he kinda has an understanding of where he is and doesn't end up in walls. Teleportation can actually be physically demanding on people that he brings along, especially people that aren't used to his teleporting. When used offensively, the stress of a rapid succession of teleports can cause nausea or incapacitate a person. Now, the dimension that Kurt travels to constantly bends light around him, making him appear in shadows during daylight and making him nearly invisible in the dark. Nightcrawler was raised in a circus in Germany and was a star acrobat. It's even been suggested that he's supernaturally acrobatic because his spine might be more flexible than normal. He can even cling to walls similar to Spider-Man, although we don't really know how this is possible. Finally, Kurt is an excellent swordsman and a hand-to-hand fighter. And then in the other corner, we have Gambit. Gambit is a charming master thief who later joined the X-Men. He possesses the mutant ability to charge inanimate objects with kinetic energy, causing them to explode. He's also extremely agile and hypnotically persuasive because of his powers. Gambit's signature move is throwing kinetically charged playing cards. So Gambit has the mutant ability to tap into the potential energy stored inside an object, and then transform that energy into kinetic energy by touching it. He can then charge the object and throw it at a target, and the object will release the energy and explode on impact. Over the years, Gambit has also gained the ability to charge organic material, like when he charged Sebastian Saul, Dakon's arm, and a small lizard. At his full power, he's even able to charge any organic or non-organic matter within his line of sight, which is a thought. However, while Gambit can do that, he usually just throws kinetically charged playing cards. He's also insanely accurate with those cards. Like Gambit was able to cut the tripwire on a nuclear device from 50 feet away with a card before, it was able to hit 3 zombies right between the eyes. Gambit's ability to tap into kinetic energy also grants him superhuman agility and dexterity. Like, for example, Remy can easily dodge gunfire and lasers, he's dodged all of Silver Samurai's attacks, and has great enough reflexes to deflect lasers and bullets as well. Gambit is also an excellent weapons fighter and specializes in the savant style of fighting with his bow staff. Also, this is pretty cool. He can quickly charge an object to increase his momentum and give his hits a little bit of extra punch. Remy is incredibly clever, is one of the best thieves in the world, and is willing to gamble everything for those he loves most, hence his name. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, physically, I gotta give the advantage to Nightcrawler, but just barely. I would say that he is slightly stronger than Gambit, and while there isn't a huge advantage, being able to hit harder and take more hits than your opponent is always going to be an advantage. Then with reaction time, agility, and speed, they're so even, it's not even funny. You can make a very solid case, and it could be debated all day, but it's honestly too close to matter. Because whichever one of them is superior, they're not superior by enough of a margin to make any impact on the outcome of this fight. Then let's talk about fighting skill. Here, I've got to give the advantage to Gambit, but not by a significant margin. Nightcrawler is very competent in this area as well, although Gambit definitely has better feats in pure hand-to-hand combat. But what this fight is really going to come down to is how their mutant abilities stack up. Now, I want to start off by saying that neither of these guys are going to do anything out of character. Like, Nightcrawler has the ability to drop an enemy for 2 miles in the air, dismember opponents, or teleport them directly into solid objects. But he doesn't, and he would never do that, because Kurt is a Catholic and has a high regard for human life. And Gambit has the ability to make living matter explode and charge an object just by looking at it, but of course, Remy would never do that to Kurt because they know each other and are friends. They could both win the fight that way, but they would never use those tactics, so it doesn't really matter. Now, Gambit has actually fought a Nightcrawler robot before and defeated it because he was able to time out when the robot was teleporting, throw playing cards in that direction, and defeat him. But here's the thing with that. The robot doesn't have the ability to be creative. It's wired and being predictable. Meanwhile, Nightcrawler isn't predictable at all. In fact, Kurt is smart enough to alter his combat tactics when fighting someone who knows him and knows his powers. Sometimes he chooses not to teleport at all, because his enemy was expecting him to do it. But it works out well for him, and Kurt is able to defeat people who know him really well. For instance, nobody knows Nightcrawler better than Wolverine, but yet Kurt was able to defeat Logan in just a couple of moves. So how do I see this fight playing out? Well, since they're starting off at a distance, the first thing that Gambit will do is throw some playing cards at him. But honestly, that won't do anything. Yes, Remy is very accurate, but pretty much all Kurt does is dodge projectiles. I mean, he can easily dodge bullets from close range without even having to teleport. Not saying that Gambit can't injure him, but he probably isn't going to do it with just a regular card throw. So Gambit isn't going to hurt Kurt from a distance, and Nightcrawler has no way to do anything from long range, so I don't think it takes too long before Kurt teleports in and the fight goes hand to hand. Now, in close range combat, they both have their share of advantages. Gambit has his weapon and better fighting skill, while Nightcrawler has his teleportation and superior strength and durability. Now, this fight is insanely close, but I just think Kurt is slightly better than Remy here. For instance, one time he teleported in the space between a gun being fired and the bullet leaving the barrel, which is an incredible example of his reaction time. I don't think this is a landslide by any means, and Gambit will take his fair share of victories thanks to his powers, superior skill, and bow staff. But if they fought 10 times, I say Nightcrawler wins 6 of those. He takes a very slight majority. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe button for videos just like this one every single day. I will see y'all next time.